Hello everyone, thanks for joining us today and welcome to this educational presentation of two techniques to help you trade this bull market. Now, as I'm sure you're probably all aware, the market has been going up for some time now and it's making new highs all along the way, and it continues to climb this wall of worry. But if you talk to investors or even traders, most of the people are having a difficult time. So in today's presentation, I'm going to share with you two techniques that are usually reserved for our members that can actually help you trade this bull market, as you see right here in front of you. For example, here's a great way that most people usually trade. They'll see something come out like this, and CNBC reported, whereas Amazon a month or so ago reported their shares break above the $1,000 mark for the very first time. Okay, tremendous news, the stock trading up that high. Most people don't own the stock, but they're thinking, boy, how did I miss this? You know, in the first hour of trading Tuesday, Amazon crossed $1,000 per share before sliding back under. Still, it was the first time Amazon had reached that milestone. Analysts on Wall Street are overwhelmingly bullish now. No brokerage houses were issuing sell recommendations. So this is really good news. Most people think, boy, I missed the boat. How would there have been any way that I could have taken advantage of that? Well, who knew that Amazon was going to be trading that high? I could have purchased some long-term options or perhaps bought an odd lot in my IRA account or long-term portfolio. Well, as you see here, this is where the news came out. And looking back months before, well, you know, it was hard to say where you would have got in. But in the techniques I'm going to be sharing with you today, well, they would have generated actually buy signals back here, and here. So you could have taken advantage of all of this prior to this really strong run. And we're not just talking about an $800, $900, $1,000 share equity. We're talking about in any stock, and even if you're looking at futures, commodities, or even currency pairs, these techniques can work in those bull markets as well. Okay? All along the way, buy signals were generated using the techniques I'll be sharing. So once again, welcome today. This promises to be a great educational presentation. My name is Steven Primo, president and founder of Specialist Trading. And about 8 years ago, I teamed up with Pro Trader Strategies, and we formulated Specialist Trading, where all I do is educate and instruct and mentor our students and members around the world, around the globe, in over 110 countries and in virtually every state of the United States. Now, I've been trading for 4 decades now, 40 years. So I've seen and traded just about everything you can think of. Every system you can think of, every technique or method. I've traded in straight up, straight down markets. I traded through the crash of 1987. I was on the floor, trading floor, and I was a specialist making markets during the crash. So I know what markets are like to actually be down there in the pit, as opposed to actually just trading from your home office. So I have all this experience and knowledge that I've accumulated in 40 years, and that's what I do. I teach our students around the world the things that I have seen and have found to have a certain level of consistency. Because believe it or not, there are so many things out there that really do not work. Sure, maybe about 5% of all the traders are able to capitalize on them and do well trading these techniques. But I'm sure many of you have gone to the webinars, you've purchased the courses for thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. And I'm sure most of you are very dismayed. You're probably discouraged, thinking, why did I waste all that money? None of this stuff works. And I know that from firsthand experience because that's what I did when I first started trading. I struggled tremendously. So I was lucky enough to have some mentors that changed my way of trading. And I think that is what has been the benchwork, the format for me to actually be trading 40 years down the road. So this is what we want to do. We want to educate you with the same things that were able to turn my trading around. And hopefully you'll be able to trade 20, 30, 40 years from now. Okay? We're simply an educational company giving you all the information you need to make your own trading decisions. Now, before we begin with today's presentation, I'm going to share with you a lot of great free information. You can start applying as early as today if you'd like. But we're required to show you the first, so please take a moment to view our disclaimer. I'm going to show you a lot of performance results applying these two techniques, but remember that we can in no way guarantee that any of the results I'm about to share with you will be repeated in the future. So we're required to show you this. So as you're taking a brief moment to view the disclaimer, I would also like to invite each and every one of you to follow us on Twitter. If you haven't done so already, we have thousands of followers. But remember, we're just an educational website. We're not trying to tell you what to buy and sell on a daily basis. We're just trying to inform you about what we do. And so every day I'll post anywhere from signals that our strategies have generated just to let you know what we're doing. But also I'll post little bits of wisdom along the way to help you with your trading. So feel free to follow us on Twitter. Okay, now before we begin, remember, we are first and foremost an educational company. This is where we differ from other companies or other webinars you may have attended. We're not trying to sell you the best system in the world. We're not trying to force feed you the best market or time frame to trade. I can't tell you on a daily basis the emails I get from students and non-students tell me, well, Steve, what market should I trade? What do you suggest? Or Steve, what's the best time frame? This is probably the worst. These are the worst questions I get, only because it's depressing to me, because basically what you're telling me is I have no idea what to do. Tell me what to do. And that is coming from a victim mentality, and you're basically setting yourself up for failure, because you should have an idea, a strong idea about what you want to do. The reason why most traders do this, I mean, think of it. Do you ask your friends, or do you go to chat rooms or websites to find out what to do on a daily basis? The reason why is because we've all been conditioned to follow somebody who's supposedly successful and then just to mirror what they do. Okay, if they want to buy IBM, we buy IBM. If they want to sell the euro dollar, we sell the euro dollar. If they want to go along a certain price level in a certain time frame, that's what we should be doing. And that is a recipe for disaster, because you're basically taking yourself out of the game. I know this once again because this is the way I used to trade. 40 years ago, I was doing the same thing on the floor, on the trading floor. I was trying to mimic other traders. I was going to all the seminars, getting all the books to read on support and resistance, on volume, on institutions. I was reading all the news, and it didn't help at all. This was 40 years ago, okay? So if it didn't work 40 years ago, I'm sure it's not working now. I was lucky enough to have my mentors tell me, Steve, listen, that stuff has no consistency into it. Basically, it'll work every once in a while, but over time, it's not going to work at all. It's like the slot machine. It'll give you a winner every once in a while, and then most likely, if you stay there long enough, you'll wind up giving all your money back. And that's what picking tops and bottoms are like. That's what support and resistance is. That's what institutional trading is. That's what volume and all these indicators and Elliott wave and Fibonacci. There are a certain amount of traders that do very well, but they're a very small percentage. The majority of us, myself included, have a very difficult time. I'm sure most of you are feeling the same way. So what we try to do is share with you and teach you things that have stood the test of time, that show consistency over and over again. And then we mentor you with standard benchmark strategies. But ultimately, these are just the framework. Ultimately, you have to decide how you're going to trade it. You have to decide for yourself, so that you'll never ask that question, well, what do you think I should do? What do you think this stock's going to do? What do you think about the market? Because you'll already know. And I'm going to share with you 2 techniques today. Well, you'll see right off the bat how you start to gain a little bit of your power back, and you can make your own decisions. So as you see right here, we're an educational company where my goal is not to force feed you a signal. My goal is not to tell you what to buy or sell every day by going to a specific chat room. My goal is to teach you how to trade with a specialist edge. This is the same edge that turned my trading around some 40 years ago, and hopefully it will be able to turn your trading around. Now, since this is going to be conducted as an educational webinar, just like a classroom, I want to take questions, but if you have questions, please wait till the very end so that this doesn't turn into a 5-hour seminar, okay? We'll conclude in just about 30, 40 minutes, and then we'll spend the last 10 or 15 minutes for any questions you may have, okay? The only question I will answer is this being recorded? Yes, it is. We record all of our webinars, so if you have to leave early or if you're having technical difficulties, Pro Trader Strategies will supply you with a link to this presentation, okay? Okay, so if you joined us late, please hold off till the very end to ask any questions. Let's begin. Let's start off with method number 1. Let's go right to the point, okay? Method number 1, as you've heard me talk about before, it's our most consistent strategy to date. It's strategy number 4. It's for all traders, beginners to advanced. So it doesn't matter if you're trading 2 weeks or 20 years. Everyone gets the standard benchmark when you first start out. I don't care if you're a hedge fund trader or someone who just started trading yesterday. You're going to get the standard benchmark, and then we work with you from there. It was designed for traders looking to catch quick momentum moves. When I first started trading it 40 years ago, I was in and out in about 5 minutes. And you can trade it that way if you like, but we show you ways in the course to stay in the trade days, weeks, months if you like. The intensity level is a very moderate number 2. It only uses one indicator, and the reason is because it's based off a pattern, and we teach you that pattern in the course. Now, the beauty of strategy number 4 is that you can apply it to any time frame, any direction, and any market. So once you're a strategy 4 course member, you never have to say, well, Steve, what's the best time frame? Well, this works in any time frame. It's up to you to decide, okay? You never have to ask, well, Steve, does it work in down markets? you never have to ask that, because you'll see, and I'll show you in a few seconds, you're going to see scenarios where it works perfectly in down markets. And you never have to say, well, Steve, can I apply this to commodities or to futures? Yes, it works. It transfers over so easily onto any market, any time frame, any direction. Now, as a member, once you become a member of our course, you're going to receive free buy and sell indications on your platform. You can either use our new PTS Primo Charting Platform, or you can use yours. We provide you with up and down sell arrows. But remember, we're not here to tell you what to buy and sell. We don't want to turn that into a crutch where you just simply wait for a green up arrow or a red down arrow. We want you to understand what you're looking for, and that's why we supply you with this as a educational tool to know what to look for and to see if you've got your requirements set. Our edge at specialist trading is consistency. We're never going to sit here and promise you that everything works 100% of the time. If you go to a webinar or a presentation where they do that, I would run, because I've been trading long enough to know that that's silly. I mean, to think that any method works all the time is just silly. It's like saying every basketball player is going to make a basket every time he shoots. Even Michael Jordan missed. Even Babe Ruth struck out a number of times. In fact, I think he held the record for the most strikeouts in a season, and he still had the record for the most home runs. So it does not matter. We're looking for 2 steps forward, 1 step back approach, meaning that if you happen to have a small loss, which is perfectly normal, you want to have a method or a plan that is consistent enough to be able to make it back rather quickly. And that's what we feel all of our methods have. So we're just instilling consistency in trading. We're not trying to tell you you're going to hit home runs. Okay, so let's share with you one of the rules. It has a total of 5 rules. We're going to give you 2 of those rules for free. The first rule is buy signals can only be entered above the 50-period moving average. Okay, someone would say, well, that's kind of silly. I mean, why, I have to wait for the 50-period moving average? Well, let me show you how powerful this is. And sell signals obviously can only be entered below the 50. Let's see how powerful this is. Here's an example with Apple, okay, going back a couple of months. All right, someone looking at this would say, well, it looks kind of toppy. We should, top out. But as we see here on our new PTS Primo Charting Platform, I'm really excited about this because I designed it and developed it with ProTrader Strategies. It makes everything so simple because it's got all of our techniques, all of our methods, and all of our strategies right here. It's one-stop shopping. As you can see in the green strategy tab, we have everything right here. All you'd have to do is click on the buy-sell line. That's simply the 50-period moving average. And we have different ways in which to view it. Let's view it with the color band ribbon at the very bottom. If you get a bluish ribbon, that's telling you the overall trend is up. And that's telling you that you are above the 50-period moving average. So there's nothing you have to figure out. There's no moving average you have to plot on your screen if you don't want to. Just have that lower color band ribbon. And if you see blue, you know that you should only be looking for buy setups. Does not mean you buy at the market. It means you only want to look for buy setups. Okay? And as you can see, if you're in sync with the overall trend, the odds are in your favor. You're going to have that consistency that the market will go higher. Now, look at this. A lot of students are continuously emailing me saying, well, Steve, how do you trade these flat markets? You know, the markets are flat. We're always taught to stay away from them. I always have difficulty. We teach you in our courses how to deal with flat markets. That's part of the course material. I can't divulge all of that right now. But look at this example. Here's a flat market, okay? Someone would say, well, Steve, you don't want to do anything here. This is where you get whipsawed. Well, we press the buy-sell line. We select which type of tool we want to be using. Once again, we'll use the lower color band. And now we have an orange-reddish type of color at the bottom. What is that telling us? It's telling us that the overall trend is down. Red sky at morning, trader take warning. Okay, blue sky at night, trader's delight. Okay, so you saw the blue earlier when Apple went up. Now you see the red sky, and you want to take warning. Okay, and look what happened. Stock fell out of bed. You see how the market tells you what it wants to do? There's never any reason now to ask, well, what do you think of the market? Well, all you have to do is click on the buy-sell line, and you know what it is. It's simply the price in relation to the 50-period moving average. Okay, so here right away you've put power in your hands. You know what you think of the market. You don't have to look at a chart and say, well, gosh, it's kind of going sideways. What do you think I should do? Don't ever ask that question, because once again, you're basically saying, tell me what to do. I have no idea. As a trader, you should always know what you want to do, even if it means staying on the sidelines. You should never ask anyone, what do you think? Can you imagine an airline pilot asking his co-pilot, well, what do you think? What should I do? Or a brain surgeon asking his assistant, what do you think I should do? It's no different from trading. It's your hard-earned money. You should never ask anyone, what should you think I should do? You should know, and this is what we do with our educational companies, Pro Trader Strategies, and with Specialist Trading. We educate you so that you won't have to ask. You'll know exactly what to do. All right, let's go to rule number 2 now. You want to look for a bar that closes either in the top or bottom 25% of its range, okay? So if you are above the 50-period moving average, you want to see a bar that closes like this. Now, this doesn't matter if it's a 5-minute bar or a monthly bar. And what you want to do is simply look by sight, divide by 4 separate equal parts, and if you close at that very top quarter, that's the market telling you that most likely it's an indication to buy because it's most likely going to go higher, okay? You see how the market tells you what it wants to do? You don't have to go to a chat room or listen to some guy on TV. I never listen to that stuff. I've stopped listening to that years ago. And trust me, I used to be on the floor where I made markets in about 50 stocks. If someone needed to know the fundamental news of every stock, if they needed to know the earnings, the ratios, it would have been me, right? I stopped looking at that stuff and I'm still here. So you really don't need it. Now, I'm not going to tell you to stop looking at it if you don't want to. I'm just telling you it is in no way required. Why? Because the market is telling you what it wants to do. I mean, shouldn't you be listening to that more than anything else? See, as traders, we're always taught to listen to outside sources. That's where all the information comes from. When in reality, the most important information comes from the source itself, from what you're trading. So the market right here is giving us the best clue ever. It's saying it wants to go higher. Now, conversely, if your price bars are below the 50 period and you see a price bar close in its bottom 25%, as you see here, well, what's the market telling you? It's telling you that's an indication to sell because most likely it wants to go lower. Okay? These are 2 very important clues coming from the market that now give you a better idea to put the power back in your hands because for the first time you've learned how to listen to the source, to the market, and not an outside source. Okay? All right, so let's look at some strategy 4 examples because these are 2 of the rules of strategy number 4. All right, looking back at Apple, once again, we saw that we were above the 50 because we have the blue color band ribbon at the bottom. We closed in the top 25%, as you can see here. We closed right towards the top, and a buy signal was generated because all the other rules came into play. I can't divulge what they are right now because it wouldn't be fair to the people that purchased the course. But our software, our PTS Primo charts, automatically will generate a buy signal for you. You'll know so you can check your work. And then, as you can see, the stock went up 8 points, okay? We had no idea why. We really don't care. The only reason is we're just listening to the market. See, our job as traders is really simple. I've said this before. It's just twofold. The first thing is to listen to the market. Listen to what it's telling you what it wants to do. And then once you figure out what it's telling you, then just jump on board. There's no reason to figure out why or to figure out, what the institutional meaning is behind all this. I mean, why? Who cares? Just ride it. That's all we're meant to do as traders. We're not supposed to be looking at economic numbers to figure out what the inner value of the stock is. There's no reason to. Why overcomplicate your trading when the market is just asking you to come along with it? And if you missed the signal, don't worry. Strategy number 4 generates more signals than any other method we have. There are always multiple signals being generated. On a nightly basis, if you look at the S&P 500, there are hundreds, if not, scores of hundreds of stocks being generated on a nightly basis. Now, some are better than others. We teach you what to look for in the course. All right, let's look at GIS. Remember, someone would say, well, Steve, that was a flat market. How can you trade that? Well, first thing we do is find out the overall direction. The market is telling us by its relation to the buy-sell line that it wants to go lower. So we know we're not going to buy this. We're only going to be looking for it to sell. Now we see our first clue right here. Here's a bar that closed in the bottom 25%, and all of the other requirements of the strategy were met. So our PTS Primo charts automatically generates a sell signal. So you know right there that you should be selling, and in about a week's time, the stock finally started to go down. We knew in advance that it was going to go lower because the market was telling us. Here's an example on Facebook, okay? Going to the beginning of the year, The stock was going straight up as represented by above its buy-sell line. All the lower band is colored blue. At this point, someone would say, well, it's time to short this, right, Steve? Every indicator I have is overbought. And I've been taught by all the courses and the indicators I purchased that if something's overbought, you have to sell it. And then once it gets into oversold territory, then I'll buy it, right? There is no consistency in that. There's no such thing as overbought. Markets can go up as high as they want. So why would you try and trade that? That's like saying, well, the slot machine hasn't paid off, so it's tremendously oversold. It's got to pay off soon, right? Ask me how many gamblers you know that have said that are now completely bust, because it'll continue to go against you. There's no way to know that. It's the same way with trading. And if we look here, we have two bars that close in the top quarter, and they meet all of the rules. So buy signals are generated. So most of our students in the beginning are scared. They say, how can you buy here? The stock has gone straight up. Well, stocks will go up as high as they want. Never sell something because you think it's overbought, and never buy something because you think it's oversold. There's no such thing as overbought and oversold. And if you waited a little while longer, there was another signal generated later on. See, we're trying to educate you so you can put the power back in your hands so that you can make your own trading decisions. Most of our students take our courses, they email me for questions, and then once they've got it, well, they're on their own to trade. There's no reason to come back and say, well, I've got to continually ask Steve questions, because they understand it now. That's what we're trying to do, make traders out of you. Now, Amazon, here's where that news came out at the very top, right? Look at all the buy signals that were generated. They were all generated because, well, first of all, we were above the 50-period moving average, and all of them closed in the top 25% of their range. And well before the stock went up to 1,000, in February, the beginning of the year, look what the blue color band ribbon was telling you. It was telling you the overall trend is up, even though we're going sideways right here in February and March, where most people would have thought, well, this is topped out. We're in a range and it looks like we're rolling over. What was the market telling you? It's telling you the overall trend is still up. You never want to short if the overall trend is up. Now, let's go back to that flat market scenario once again. We get so many emails from students saying, well, Steve, flat markets, how do we trade flat markets? Well, if we look at Oracle right here, for a good 3 weeks, almost going on a month, we were going sideways. This was a scenario, a classic scenario flat market. Someone looking at this would say, well, Steve, this is basically whipsaw area. There's no way you can do anything that would be profitable. Well, maybe sometimes you're right. Maybe flat markets sometimes will generate whipsaws. So you have the choice to say, well, listen, I'm not going to trade flat markets. I mean, that's like saying, well, Steve, there's a really dangerous area in town that if you go there, chances are you're going to get robbed or beaten up. Well, then don't go there. Don't go there to go eat dinner. It's the same way with flat markets. If you see a sideways market and you think that the odds are you're going to lose money, then don't trade it. It's that simple. You're in charge of your trading. Now, here we have a flat market scenario. You could have decided, well, I'm going to stay away and move on to a market like Facebook or Apple that we looked at earlier that was trending. Okay, then just trade those markets. But let's say you don't care. You still think there may be some diamonds in the rough here. Well, if we look, well, actually, yes, there actually is an overall uptrend. Someone may say this is a sideways market with no trend. That's not true. The overall trend is up, and we have a bar here that closes in the top 25% that generated a buy signal. So if you wanted to, your choice. This is not a system. It's your choice. You're in charge of your trading. You could have said, well, I'm not going to trade this flat market scenario. I'm not going to go into that bad area of town. Okay, that's perfectly okay. Or you could say, I'm going to trade this, and the market went up 3 points. Not a bad trade, okay? So later you say, well, Steve, I traded that, but man, I was lucky. I was holding on to the seat of my pants, and look at this. Now we've got another flat market here, okay? I'm not going to do anything because most likely I was just lucky the first time, and this time, this is really flat, and I don't think anything's going to happen, so I'm not going to trade this. Okay, you have the freedom to not trade something if you don't want to. But what is the color band telling you? It's telling you you're still in an overall uptrend. So if anything, you can either not trade or be long, but please do not short it, because the market, even though you may think it's going flat, is still telling you most likely it's going higher. And in all actuality, it generated another buy signal here. Closed in the top quarter of its range and met all the other rules. And look what happened. Did we know the stock was going to gap up? Absolutely not. But the market was telling us it wants to go higher. Remember, our job is to listen to the market, what it tells us, and jump on board. That's it. We're not expected to figure out what the earnings are going to be. We're not expected to figure out what the news announcements are going to be. We're not expected to figure out what the support and resistance is. That's, overcomplicating your trading. Why do that stuff? All we want to do is listen to what the market is telling us and jump on board. That's it, because the market is always telling you or giving you a good idea. It's not always right. It's difficult to figure out sometimes in certain scenarios, but overall, these techniques have a high level of consistency. Okay, so why overcomplicate your trading? All right. Now, from time to time, here's a perfect example. From time to time, you will see scenarios like this. This is why I'm trying to tell you that it's all about consistency. It's not about making winning trades 100% of the time. Here you have a flat market. Some might even say, well, actually, it's an overall upward trend. And as you can see, it is, because the color band ribbon is blue. Okay? Blue sky at night, trader's delight. So we have two buy signals generated. So you're excited. You're like, boy, this is my first trade. I'm excited. I have the new PTS Primo charts that does all this work. It tells me how to do it. I can listen to the market for the first time. You jump in, you take both buy signals, and look what happens. All right? Right about this time, you're ready to throw the platform out the window. You can't stand me. You think I'm a fake, that nothing works, and I'm just trying to sell you something that doesn't work at all, that I don't even use. All right? Or maybe something like this. You see the market going lower, and if you look at the very bottom, the color band ribbon is red, orange red, okay? Red sky at morning, trader take warning, right? So you want to short, and what do we have? We have a bar that closes in the bottom 25%, and it generates a sell signal, okay? You click on strategy 4 right up here on the strategy tab, and that automatically will generate the sell signals. So you say, boy, this is great. I'm going to go short. So you sell, and it goes straight up, okay? Once again, you will get small minor losses from time to time, because obviously you wouldn't have been in this trade this entire time, but you would have had a loss. So we have to ask ourselves, is there a way that we can increase our odds for success? Because Steve said these things are consistent, but every once in a while, he also said you will get some small minor losses. So can we improve that ratio even better? Well, yes, we can, with our second method in our technique to trade this current bull market. And that's by adding our favorite tool for telling us the direction of the trend. That's the PTS. I use this on a daily basis. The two things I wouldn't leave home without are the two things I'm telling you about. That's the buy-sell line, the 50-period moving average, and the PTS. Because they have many uses. One tells you the overall trend, and one tells you the short-term trend. Now, the PTS is something I was introduced to years ago on the floor. And it was a calculation, something we had to calculate. In fact, we used to call it the formula back then, because we had to calculate the formula on a bar-by-bar basis. It was very difficult to do. But now we've made it into a proprietary algorithm. We've taken all the work out for you, but we've proprietarized it, or proprietized it, I should say. And now there's no way you can do it incorrectly. There's no way you have to work all day long to figure out what the formula is. We've taken all the work out for you, and we've made it into a color bar tool, so that all you have to do is look for two colors, either green or red. And it's a short-term trend identifier, because if you see a series of green bars, such as you see right here, it's telling you the short-term trend is up. And if you see a series of red bars, it's telling you the short-term trend is down. Very similar to the buy-sell line, but a little bit more complicated in the calculation process. But look at this example right here in Edna. As you see, here's the way most traders trade. They'll see the trend, and by this time, they're probably convinced that it's going up, so they'll buy somewhere around here, because this is where they think, well, we've broken out. For sure, we're in an uptrend. Then some good news came out, so I'm going to buy Aetna. And then right when you buy, look what happens, okay? Now, if we added the PTS, well, the PTS would have told us well in advance by being green down here that we were in an uptrend, and it would have told us, not at the very top, but well in advance of that strong downward move to get out, and that a downtrend was in play. Now, the beauty of the PTS is that it is not an indicator that's telling you what to do. In other words, it is simply a translator Remember, we're not telling you what to trade. We're not telling you how to trade. We're just simply giving you this information to make your own decisions. And the PET D is translating what the market wants to do on a tick-by-tick basis. So for the short-term trend, all you have to do is plot the color bars, and it will tell you on a tick-by-tick basis what the market wants to do. So what a great edge to have. As we look right here, here's a weekly chart of the spiders, okay? Now, wouldn't you have loved to know that you were going to be in an upward market looking back in hindsight? Well, we look back in November of 2016, all you have to do is, with our new PTS Primo charts, is click on the PET-D tool. All you have to do, and it automatically changes the colors, and we would have known well back in advance that you should have been long this market until you saw red bars. How about a 5-minute chart of the spiders, okay? Looking back in hindsight, someone would say, well, Steve, gosh, I wish I would have known to gone short the spiders on my, I like to intraday trade this ETF. Well, you add the PET-D, click on the PET-D tab right there at the strategy tab reference, and look at all the red bars. Sure, every once in a while you will have an opposite color, but remember, we're looking for a consistency. So anywhere from 3 to 5 bars of a specific color will tell you that there's a trend in place. So once you saw 3 red bars right here, that was telling you you have a strong downward trend. And until you get 3 green bars, the trend is still going lower on the short term. Now people say, well, Steve, how does this work with news? Because, you know, many times you'll be on the opposite side. A news event comes out and it catches you off guard. That's true. Remember, once again, I'm not saying everything works 100% of the time, but it's been our experience, especially me trading for decades now, that most of the time when you're in sync with the market, either the overall market using the buy-sell line, the 50-period moving average, or the short-term market, most of the time, in my observance, this is not written in stone, there's no statistics to prove this, but it's been my observance that you'll be on the right side of the news many times. Here's a perfect example. MarketWatch came out and said the NASDAQ hit 6,000 mark for the very first time ever. This was a couple of months ago in April. The NASDAQ Composite Index in early Tuesday trading hit a milestone, 6,000. Okay, so this is great news. The index has not seen a major new high, which is to say a breakthrough of a big round number since way back in 2000, roughly 17 years ago. So if we look at a weekly chart of the QQQs, the ETF that represent the NASDAQ, that's when the news event came out there in April of 2017. Wouldn't you have loved to know that you were going to be in this strong bull market? Well, remember, it's not a predictive tool, but it's just telling you on a tick-by-tick basis what it wants to do. And if we simply applied the PET-D, it told us way back in November of 2016 by issuing 3 green bars that an uptrend was in place, okay? A full 6 months before the all-time highs were made. So this is the beauty of this. It's not a predictive tool. It's not telling you how high something's going to go or how low. It's just telling you at the moment. So when you couple it along with some other great techniques and methods we have, you really increase your odds for success. So the PET-D is a proprietary algorithm. We've taken all the work out of it for you because we've made it a color bar tool, just 2 colors, either green or red. It's a short-term trend identifier, as you just saw. But here's what we have found is probably the most significant use of the PET-D. It's a signal confirmation tool. So regardless of what strategy you're trading, if you get a buy signal and the PET-D colors that bar green, you've increased your odds for success significantly. Conversely, if you get a sell signal and the PET-D colors that bar red, you've increased your odds for consistency tremendously. So, what happens when we combine the PET-D with Strategy 4? It creates our best program to date at Specialist Trading and Pro Trader Strategies. It's the Dynamic Duo. The Dynamic Duo is when you combine Strategy 4 with the PET-D. 2 great methods that have this synchronicity together that really increase your odds for consistency. All right, so here's the plan. Only trade strategy number 4, buy signals, if the PET-D colors the bar green. Now, I've already given you 2 of the rules to strategy number 4. So you're going to see how well it works, and you're going to see those rules in action. Now, conversely, if you want to sell, you're only going to trade strategy number 4, sell signals, if the PET-D colors the bar red. Let's show you some great examples here, okay? These are all Dynamic Duo examples, and you'll see how they would have worked. We showed you this Facebook example earlier. Now, if you were like most people saying, Steve, I know the bottom color band ribbon, meaning the 50-period moving average in its relationship to price is blue. So that's telling me the overall trend is up, excuse me. But I just can't, get rid of this chat room I go to. They keep telling me to short Facebook because we're overbought, that all the indicators are overbought. Well, to make you trade with a little bit more confidence, to put the power back in your hands as opposed to relying to someone is saying in some chat room, apply the PET-D. And you can see now that not only is the overall trend up, but the short-term trend is up. So what's the market telling you? The market is telling you that in the overall scheme of things, I'm going higher, and in the short-term scheme of things, I want to go higher. So it will be in your best interest to jump on board. So we've given you the structure in the terms of strategy number 4, and you can see what happened. Now another signal was generated later on in March coming into April, and you still could have taken advantage of that because it was colored green by the PET-D. And all you have to do, once again, if you have our PTS Primo charts, is click on strategy number 4, and it will tell you where the signals are, and then click on the PET-D, okay? And it will tell you the color of the bar. Let's look at fossil, all right? Once again, someone looking at this would say, okay, it's safe to say we're in a downtrend. I can see that, all right? I don't need to see that the 50-period moving average is below its moving average, it's below. And we've got 2 sell signals generated here. But come on, we've really gone a little bit oversold. How can I sell if we've gone down this low? Well, on top of that, we're in a flat market. Isn't this where you get whipsaw? I mean, the first sell signal really hasn't gone down yet. So how can I trade this? We've got, oversold. We've got a flat market. I mean, those are things that I've always been taught you don't want to, do the opposite of. Well, if we add our proprietary buy-sell line, it's telling you the market wants to go lower. So why would you bet against it? And then if we click on the PET-D, it's confirming both of those signals, telling you the short term wants to go lower as well. Remember, we only need that sell signal to be colored red. We don't need anything else. So the market went down another 9 points. In fact, it gapped down strongly about a week or 2 later. Did we know it was going to gap down like that? Absolutely not. The market was telling us it wants to go lower. Remember, learn to listen to the market, and in my opinion, become a more consistent trader than listening to institutions, listening to support and resistance, listening to Fibonacci ratios. They're too complicated. They're too subjective. There's too much discretion involved. There's not discretion involved in any of this. If you see the colors, you know exactly what you're supposed to do. If you see a market close in the top or bottom 25% of its range, you know exactly what the market's telling you. It's very cut and dry. How about Apple? Okay, well, we're above the buy-sell line, as shown by the blue color band ribbon. We have a buy signal because we close in the top 25%, but let's just say you're still not convinced. Well, you click on the PET-D, and virtually all of the bars are colored green. So you've got the long-term and the short-term helping you out, and the stock goes up, and you're met with 2 other signals that are both colored green. How about LB? Okay. Once again, we have 2 sell signals that are in the overall trend is down. The first one worked great, but now we've really come down much lower. How can we go short at these levels? You apply the PET-D and you see that the bars are all red. So you don't want to, go the opposite. You can either decide not to take the trade if you don't feel comfortable. We're never going to tell you to take a trade. This is not a system. These are just high probability entry techniques for you to decide whether you want to do it or not. Remember, you're in charge of your trading. We're not telling you what to do. So you can decide to take it or not take it. But it would have been a good idea if you did take it, because the stock fell out of bed a couple of days later and continued to fall 20 more points. Now GWW, remember we said that it doesn't work all the time. As you can see here, we had 2 buy signals generated. They were above the buy-sell line, as represented by the blue color band ribbon, but they still didn't work. That will happen from time to time. Is there a way to increase our odds for consistency? Yes, you add the PET-D. Remember, if you get a buy signal, the PET-D should color those bars with the arrows green. We add the PET-D, and what color did the PET-D color them? They were both red, the outline of the bar. They both closed higher, but the PET-D was saying it doesn't matter. Even though they both closed higher on the day, the trend is lower. So you don't want to buy this. So you would have not taken these trades at all and saved yourself a lot of misery. So that's the beauty of the PET-D as well. It will not only confirm some good trades, it will also not confirm some bad trades as well. Now, how about Starbucks? Okay, we had a sell signal, met all the rules of the strategy. It was above the buy-sell, or I should say below the buy-sell line. The color band ribbon was red, and it still went up. All right, well, let's add the PET-D. Could the PET-D have helped us? With the PTS Primo charts, you just click on the PET-D tab, and the colors will automatically come up. Now, for a sell signal, you want that bar to be colored red. What bar, or I should say, what color is the bar? It's green. So the PET-D is telling you, even though the overall trend is down, the short-term trend has already switched over. Okay? It's much faster than the overall trend. So we want these to be in sync with each other to get a high probability trade. And they're out of sync. So my suggestion is to not take the trade, and you would have saved yourself a lot of money. Once again, does this work 100% of the time? No, we're just showing you ways to increase your odds for success. Nothing works 100% of the time. Now, you like to trade other markets, it makes no difference. Here are the QQQs on a daily time frame. All the buy signals are generated. Had you clicked on the PET-D tab, you would have seen that the first sell signal was confirmed, and you had one day a nice downward move, about 2 or 3 points. But then once the market changed, well, you were generating only buy signals, and each one of them was confirmed to the upside. How about a 10-minute chart of the E-mini futures? Well, all these buy signals generated nice trades. But if you wanted to be more certain, all you had to do was click on the PET-D tab, and you would have seen that every one of them except for this one was confirmed. So this is once again where we're trying to show you how there is consistency. Even though this one wasn't confirmed, the one prior to it was. And you would have had these two also. So not every trade is going to be 100% successful. Some of them may keep you out of some nice trades. That's okay. It's all about 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And we're looking at a weekly chart of the euro-yen. Looking back in hindsight, it's like, wow, all these trades were winners. Okay, I see that we're below the 50-period moving average by the color band bar being red. But what if I was a little, not uncertain of the market, if I wasn't that confident? Well, you add the PET-D, and you've seen that each and every one of these bars that was generated to go short was colored red, giving you the confidence to go short, to sell the euro on a weekly time frame. Had you taken the very first signal, that would have been 2,000 pips in your direction. Okay, now we're not saying you were going to stay in the trade that long, but we show you ways to do that. Remember, you're in charge. You can either get out with a 50 pip gain or 2,000 pips. It's up to you. We're not telling you what to do. That's the biggest sin any mentor can do, is tell you what to trade and how to trade it. As your teacher, I'm showing you the way. I mean, imagine you wanted to learn how to play golf. There was a tournament coming up and you wanted to play a little bit better. Well, as your golf instructor, I'm not going to play in the tournament for you. I'm not going to tell you what exactly to do on each and every stroke and each and every hole, but I'm going to share techniques to increase your odds so that you'll play better. But then you're going to have to play the game, not me. So it's no different from trading. I'm not going to sit here and tell you every morning, well, this is what we're buying today. This is what we're selling today. I mean, that's silly. Why would I do that? You're in charge of your own trading. You're going to decide for yourself what you're going to buy and what you're going to sell. Okay, so let's recap before we go to question and answer. We combined 2 of our best methods for helping you trade this current bull market, strategy number 4 and the PET-D. Now, they're 2 very highly consistent methods that will really increase your odds for consistency. But when you combine them together, they have this tremendous synergy that creates our dynamic duo, our most popular as well as consistent package we have to date at Specialist Trading and Pro Trader Strategies. Now, I want you to ask yourself, and ask yourself honestly, do you think these edges I've shared with you today could have helped your trading this past year? Go back and look at your last 10, 20 trades. Are you anywhere near where you thought you'd be in January? Because we're already halfway through the year. Are you going to be anywhere close to where you thought you would be in January when you made all these goals and aspirations for yourself for 2017? All right? What if you would have used the 50-period moving average, the buy-sell line, just that simple tool? Do you think that could have increased your odds? Okay. What if that technique of looking for bars that close in the top or bottom 25%, you think that could have helped you at all? Those are yours to start experimenting with. I'm sure if you go back and look at your last 10, 20 trades, just the 50-period moving average could have increased your odds for success even more. So here's what we're offering you today. We're offering you the dynamic duo. It's Primo strategy number 4 along with the PET-D. This comes with instant course access, okay? Detailed instruction, all the entries, all the exits, all the stops. Remember, I just shared 2 of the rules with you today. There's a total of 5 for the strategy to come together, for all the requirements to met. You'll learn what to look for. You're also going to get the PET-D. We're going to share with you 4 different trading techniques along with the PET-D, ways in which to use the PET-D on its own. We're also going to supply you with signal alerts. All right, going to be sharing with you that those green and red arrows so that you know what to look for as an educational tool. We're also going to supply you with the add-on that automatically changes the bars green or red using the PET-D. But here's one thing that we didn't talk about. For an educational purposes only, we're going to supply you with email alerts just to show you what to look for on a nightly basis when signals are generated. For example, you would receive something like this on a nightly basis when a signal was generated. In this case, it was MA, the Go Long strategy number 4 in MA. Now, looking at the chart, once again, this is the way most traders would trade prior to becoming a member of our courses. They would say, well, Steve, I mean, the chat room I go to says this is a flat market. You don't want to trade this. I mean, this is how you get whipsawed, right? I mean, we've been going sideways for a month. There's no direction. And, you know, if anything, I should probably be selling this because it looks like it's topping out. And also the chat room and trading room I go to don't like this stock because they think the institutions are selling it. And the volume is really dried down. So it's not a good play at all. Do you see how most traders think that way? You listen to outside sources or someone saying, well, you know, I want to wait till the earnings come out. You see how you're waiting for something to tell you what to do? Traders should never do that. You should have an idea prior to anything, and you can decide for yourself if you want to take the trade or not. So we discard all of that, what my mentors called noise, and listen to what the market's telling us. The first thing we want to do is click on the buy-sell line up here, all right? That's going to tell us what the overall trend is. And if we look at the standard lower color band ribbon, it's telling us we're not in a flat market. The overall trend is up, okay? So by any means, sure, we may be going sideways, but the market's telling you it still wants to go higher. All right, and then we look for bars that close in the top 25% that meet all of the other rules, and guess what? This bar does. So even though we're at midway in that range, it's telling you that this is a high probability trade. Now let's say you're still not convinced, okay? You say, well, I just need a little bit more confirmation. Okay, you come up to the strategy tab here, click on PET-D. It'll automatically color the bars for you. And guess what? That signal bar was colored green. Even though the prior 2 bars were colored red, it makes no difference. All you want to see is that that signal bar is colored green. That's giving you the confirmation that the overall longer-term trend and the short-term trend are in sync, along with the rules of the pattern of strategy 4. So you've got a lot of things going for you that this is going to be a successful trade. Is it guaranteed? Absolutely not. Nothing is guaranteed as a trader, but you're trying to put the odds in your favor. And how do we do that? By listening to the market, because the market is what we're trading. So why not take our cues from the market instead of some guy in a trading room or some guy on TV who thinks he knows what's going on? The market tells you what it wants to do. So you jump in and buy, and guess what? The market was right. It wanted to go higher. In fact, the stock went up 7 points in the next 2 weeks. You could have taken 1 point and gotten out and said, thank you, I'm out. I made a nice little 1 point gain in a couple of days. Or you could have held out for as much as you wanted to because you made a quick 7 points in the next 2 weeks. It's up to you. You're in charge of your trading. That's our philosophy, to make you in charge so that you rely on no one else other than yourself. So we're offering you the PET-D along with strategy number 4. This is our dynamic duo. Now, if you purchase these separately, okay, these are how powerful these 2 strategies are. It would cost you close to $3,700. No need to worry. We are not going to be offering at that price at all. In fact, we're going to drop it drastically for today. This is a special 1 day only special offer for all the people in attendance today. 1 day only. There's no way you're going to have to pay close to $4,000. All you have to pay is $497, a one-time fee of $497 plus $97 per month, plus we are throwing in the PTS Primo charts. This is a fantastic deal. All the snapshots you saw of me today, all the chart examples were generated using the PTS platform. I'm really excited about it. We spent over a year developing this with pro trader strategies and programmers, and we've really put together something we feel is the best educational platform out there. It's the best platform that you can use that teaches you how to listen to the market. Now, here's a perfect example in this next slide. A news event came out this past week, just this last week. Yahoo Finance reported that Snapchat's parent stock falls below its IPO price. Okay, I'm sure you've all heard about Snapchat. It was the darling months ago. Everyone wanted to get involved in it. They were so excited they thought it was going to be another, Apple or another Facebook. And guess what? Shares of the parent company closed at $16.99 apiece Monday, falling for the first time below the company's initial public offering price of $17. Now, this was on the 10th, which was Monday. I believe now the stock is actually trading around 15. I'm not sure if you look at it right now. I don't have the advantage of live charts in front of me. But so the stock has gone even lower. Okay, the stock closed down 1.1% for the day and hovered just above the 17 per share mark. So it's even lower right now as we speak. Now people would say, boy, I wish I could have known that this wasn't going to be what it was meant to be, or at least I could have, if I did purchase it, gotten out well before it started to really fall out of bed. Well, guess what? If you had all of our techniques, all of our methods, you could have taken advantage of that. There's another tool we have on our platform that uses the buy-sell line, but it's called our fluid buy-sell line, as you see right here. It's the same thing, but it colors the back of the screen either blue or red. Now, when price is above in the blue zone, it's telling you the overall trend is up. And when it's below, it's telling you the trend is down. Now, as you can see here, coming into June, this was a good month and a half ago, we had 3 consecutive closes below the fluid buy-sell line, signaling a downtrend, okay? Remember we had said that earlier. When you see 3 consecutive closes or 3 consecutive colors, that's telling you the trend. So we knew roughly about 7 points higher that you should be out of this stock, okay? There's no reason why you should have been in it. Why? Not because of the earnings, not because of what the IPO was, not because of what the inner makings of the company were, but because of the market telling you it wants to go lower, roughly 21.5. We would have been out of this. And guess what? If you were a member of the Dynamic Duo course, well, a sell signal was generated right here, colored red. So you could have gone short roughly at 21 and a quarter, all the way down to 15 if you'd like. Good 7 points this past month. So there's no need to listen to outside sources. The market usually tells you what it wants to do. The trouble is we're never taught how to do that. We're always taught to listen to news, to listen to some brokerage house recommendation. All our friends are saying this is the next best up and coming company. Now, if Snapchat turns around and goes back up above, well, sure, we'll look for buy signals. But we're not going to do anything until the market we're trading, the source in front of us tells us what it wants to do. Not some guy in a chat room. We don't care about those things. These are the same things my mentors taught me. And once I gave in, once I grasped those concepts, my trading started to turn around. And I really believe that's what sustained me. Now, the beauty is with Pro Trader Strategies, we've developed this educational platform so that everything is done for you. So a year from today, you will, in my opinion, have wished you became a member of these courses. That's how much information is jam-packed into them. So here's the information you need. Contact Pro Trader Strategies. You can either email them or call them directly to get that special offer. Remember, this is 1 day only, okay? Now, the link is at the very bottom of the screen, but it's not live. If you see on the chat box on the far right, they've posted a live link to take advantage of that special offer. Remember, if you purchase these after tomorrow, it'll cost you close to $4,000. But for 1 day only, you're getting it less than $500, and then just a small fee of $97 per month, plus the PTS Primo Charting Platform. So this is a great offer. You're getting 2 great methods, plus a bonus of a new charting platform with everything done for you. And one thing I forgot to mention, you're getting 40 years of experience as your personal mentor. You can contact me whenever you'd like, and I'll answer any question that you may have. So I'm going to leave all this information up here and open up the question and answer box. And I want to thank you all for holding off on any questions. Nick asks, hi Nick, says, when we get sell signals, should we not buy puts? Sure, that's a great question, Nick. Now, we do not tell you how to trade or what to do. So in other words, Sure, you can either short the stock if you like, if you have enough capital in your account, if you like to actually short stocks, or you can buy puts. It's up to you. So there's no one way to do it. A lot of our traders like to take the signals and then they just simply purchase options. So it's up to you, okay? Let's see. Nick says, we are seeing all signals after the fact. Can we get the time when to buy? Well, remember, Nick, once you take the course, you're going to see that for yourself. You know, we're not here to tell you, you know, and to tell you to something to buy and without you knowing where to enter, where to exit, where to place your stop. But that's all included in the course. You know, it would be irresponsible of me to say, hey, you know, go buy this tomorrow, and it generated a buy signal. Well, where are you going to buy it? Do you know where the entry is? Do you know where the exit is? Do you know where the stop is? Do you know where the different type of stop placement is if it starts to go up? Do you know the different type of exit modes? You know, that's all part of the course because you have to know how to do it. If I just simply said there's a buy signal, that would be irresponsible as me as your mentor and leaving you, you know, to try to figure out how to trade it. So this is what we teach you in the courses, okay? Nick says, can you explain the 25% up or down range to buy or sell? Well, remember, it's not telling you to buy or sell. It's simply the market telling you what it wants to do. So in other words, take a bar. It doesn't mean it has to be a daily bar. It can be a 5-minute bar. It can be a monthly bar. But the extreme high and the extreme low divide by 4 separate but equal parts. Now, this may seem a little wordy. It may seem like, boy, this is too complicated. How can I do this during real time? Trust me, a little practice and you'll be able to just see it. I've been doing that for so long. I know just by looking at the bar if it closed in the top quarter or the bottom quarter. It's that simple, okay? So just divide by 4 separate but equal parts. And if you close in the top, well, that's the market telling you it wants to go higher. If it closes in the bottom, the market telling you wants to go lower, okay? Now, some people are saying they're having difficulty with the link. The link in the chat box is the correct one, so just simply click that one on, and that will take you to the special offer, okay? If you're having difficulty with the link, either the one in the chat box or the one on the screen, don't worry about it. Call Pro Trader Strategies, email them or call them, and they can set you up. There's no obligation required. You can ask them more questions if you like, but they have more information, okay? Amika asks, hello, Amika. Amika's been a student of ours for a while. He goes, the buy signals seem to come after long moves in the buy or sell direction. Is there a way to make the signal sooner? Well, remember, by saying, is there a way to make the signal sooner means that you're trying to manipulate what the market wants to do. Everything we do is based off what the market tells us. So that's all we're trying to do. Why would we try to change what the market is telling us? That's no different from saying, is there a way to pick tops and bottoms? It's not our job as a trader to determine to make something quicker or easier. Our job as a trader is just to listen to the market, have it tell it what it wants to do, and then jump on board, okay? Now, we have different strategies that will generate different signals in different places. If you want information on those, I would contact Pro Trader Strategies. They can tell you about different strategies. But strategy number 4, in my opinion, is our most consistent one. So remember, as a trader, you're not trying to figure out if you can get a signal quicker, because that's trying to, you know, tell the market what to do. All we're trying to do is listen to the market, and if we get structure, we jump on board, okay? That's the best thing you can do for right now. Stuart says, is the PETD algorithm an algorithm, or is it just a symbol added to our trading platform? Well, no, the PETD is an algorithm. It's a proprietary algorithm. I don't know what you mean by a symbol or interactive brokers. No, you can use it for interactive brokers. You get an add-on that will allow you to use it with interactive brokers. Contact Pro Trader Strategies. In my opinion, the easiest and best way to observe it is by using the PTS Primo Charting Platform, because it's right there for you. But it can be applied to other platforms as well, such as TradeStation, NinjaTrader, let's see, I think FCXM, a number of Metastock, so there's MT4, there's a lot of different platforms. But remember, the PTS Primo Charts is where it's the easiest way to apply and to use, because it's automatically canned in there. There's nothing you have to do. It can be, worked on Sierra charts, FCXM, Thinkorswim users can use live free stock data to run a NinjaTrader platform for free, and we help you set up everything, okay? So if you're asking about having to install it and everything, we have a great tech support. We've had nothing but great testimonials about our tech support. We do everything for you, no extra charge. It's usually done within a matter of minutes. So this is a great, great deal, a great way to get your trading on track. We're already over halfway through the year. Most of you I know, just from personal experience, are struggling. I know I was when I first started trading. I was doing all the right things. I was taking all the courses on support and resistance, on Fibonacci, on volume, and nothing was working with consistency. I'd get good trades every once in a while, and then I'd get that next trade where I give everything back. It's very discouraging, I know. What you're looking for is consistency, and that's all we teach. But remember, consistency is not a system. It takes a lot of hard work on your part. You have to be a part of the process. That's what we do. We get so many traders that are students, and they say, okay, so tell me, what do I buy, what do I sell? No. We're giving you the information. We're showing you different applications. We're showing you different ways. It's up to you to decide how you want to do it. That's how you become consistent. We're not a systematic company where we provide you with tons of statistics and say, this is the way you trade it. This is all you have to do. Just follow the up and down arrows. We don't believe in that. We give you a basic framework, and then we allow you to work with it. And you can edit it if you like. It's up to you. The student was asking earlier, well, can I get signals that come sooner? Sure, if you like to tinker under the hood, but as long as you use the same basic format, experiment. This is what we encourage. We want you to become a part of the process. We don't want you to just, simply email me and say, well, Steve, this didn't work here. What do I do? Well, we've shown you the options. Paper trade, experiment with them. But remember, trading is a process that revolves around your decision making, no one else's. So you should be in charge. We provide you with that information, as you've just seen, and then we let you run with it, okay? But don't worry, I'm with you every step of the way, answering your emails, telling you what the right direction is, what the right way to go is in terms of what makes you feel comfortable. Once you do that, I strongly feel that you'll be on your road to consistency, okay? The best way you can take advantage of that is really taking advantage of this one-day special offer. $497 for both the Pet D and strategy number 4. Usually costs close to $3,700 for only $497, and that includes the PTS Primo Charting Platform, okay? So we're really happy with this, excited about it. Remember, contact Pro Trader Strategies to ask about different platforms, to ask about how you can use this, or ask about the one-day special. But remember, this will all change and go up to a different price once it all the day's over. So you have to take advantage of it quickly. Take it from someone who struggled. When I first started 40 years ago, I was on the floor of the Pacific Stock Exchange. Someone would think, well, Steve, you were on the trading floor. You should have had access to information and seen the book in front of you. You should have been making millions of dollars. I struggled just like everyone else. So it doesn't matter what the access of information you have, how long you've been trading. Everyone goes through these difficult times. I really think we can help you with our products and with our education. So contact Pro Trader Strategies. I would love to help you, okay? Thank you so much. I hope you got something out of this presentation, and I look forward to all of you becoming students of mine at the Dynamic Duo course. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.